he got into barbecue and doing smoked foods in an incredible little business that is actually about a mile and a half down the street from my house. And it is bringing back the old school neighborhood grocer. I want to introduce you to Santo Smiroldo.
I decided to do the 2 for $5.99.
Yeah.
Because I'm still making a little money. It went crazy. Now everybody's in there and they come in, they'll grab a slice of pizza while they're waiting.
So it gets them in the door.
It gets them in the door. And you get a lot of new customers in that wouldn't have came in.
Right.
And you get exposure to them.
Right. And now they get to see everything. Great liquor prices.
Great
beer prices.
Yes.
Great produce.
Yep.
And then all your other deli stuff you have too.
Right.
And your prepared meals.
Yeah. And prepared meals.
You're doing that all day long.
All day long. Yes.
And then you guys do take and bake pizza.
Yes.
How many take and bake pizzas do you think you make in a week?
Probably a couple hundred.
Okay. Wow.
A couple hundred a week in take and bakes.
Yeah. So you are the Papa Murphy's of Price Right Market.
Yes, we are.
That's how you start a campfire in Carter County.
Freaking awesome.
You're watching Pellet Cookery University with Fast Eddy. Light 'em up.
I want to welcome everybody back to Pellet Cookery University. Today, we're going to start digging really hard into the customer base. And I've got a fella that I've known for a few years, and we'll get into the chatting about how we got a lot closer and things. And then he got into barbecue and doing smoked foods in an incredible little business that is actually about a mile and a half down the street from my house. And it is bringing back the old school neighborhood grocer. And I want to introduce you to Santo Smiroldo. Santo, welcome to Pellet Cooker University.
Thank you, Eddy.
And I'm really looking forward to hearing more about your story. Give us your background of how you grew up and your background in the industry of this small grocer world.
Okay. Well, when I was younger, I started working in my father's stores. And then as I, got older, teens, I took over my grandfather's store. I bought him out and made that mine. And
what was that? What? For local people, where was those stores located?
I started working for my father at Northland Party Shop. It was a liquor store.
Is that the one up here? Was just off of North Oak?
Yes, off of North Oak, 40th and North Oak. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I remember the place.
Yeah. And then my grandfather had ASP Liquors down in North Kansas
That was
City.
your grandfather's store?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I bought that from him in, I think it was 1985.
Wow. You were a young man right then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then worked that.
Because I see the license plates in your store that ASB.
Yeah, those were my grandfather's license plates.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, those were his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. He just strictly did liquor there, didn't you?
Liquor and deli.
It was deli?
Yes.
Okay. That was before my time. The only thing I spent much time in that neck of the woods, what was that? It was like a Denny's. It was across the street that went in down there. Oh, what in the world was it?
We had a Sambo's next
Sambo's, that's
yes.
it. Yes. Yeah. I used to go to Sambo's because I was working at the Skelly station and we'd go eat at Sambo's because that was a 24-hour.
Yeah, it was a 24-hour place, yes.
Yeah. Good place to have a liquor store next to that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Did things change when Sambo's moved or moved out?
Yeah, things changed when Sambo's moved out.
Yeah. It'd be great. Well, it seems like that river was a barrier though, and going across that bridge. Did you get a lot of downtown traffic or was it mostly Northlanders?
It was mostly factory business.
Was it?
There, yeah, from all the factories. North Kansas City was thriving in the industrial industry back then.
That's right. It really was, wasn't
Yes.
it? Mm-hmm. With the tank companies and all that stuff down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's changed greatly.
It has.
Yeah. With all of them had gone away.
Yeah.
What year was it? About 2014, you ended up coming up on Wacomas, or how long did you start chasing and looking at that little store?
Ooh, I looked at that. God, I think I was with my father and we looked at it, I think in 1981 when it was for sale.
Oh, really?
Yes.
81.
81. And they wanted, at that time, we felt it was way too much money.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of backed off.
When did it close?
It was closed for 5 years before I bought it.
It was open that long because you bought it, what, 14?
14, yes.
So I didn't even realize it was still open in like 2009 or so.
So it was 8 or 9 when it closed.
Okay.
And it could have closed prior to that in between couple owners.
Yeah. It may have tried to reopen and not. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's taking a heck of a leap of faith, especially in the Northland. As Northlanders is kind of a weird deal. I don't think I'm not telling you nothing.
No.
It's very blue collar, or was back then, or even further. And we didn't have all these people living north of us. You didn't have all that development going on at the time. That's quite a leap to jump in there. And now, were you still doing someplace else too at the time, and just kind of started at part-time, or you still had another thing going on?
No, I didn't.
You jumped in feet first.
Yes.
Wow. And I remember you put the little yard signs out.
Yeah.
And
yep, sure did.
that guerrilla marketing like that works pretty well though too.
Yes.
That was way before so much social media.
Right.
Had gone.
And those signs don't last long. You got to constantly.
Well, yeah, because they get picked up.
Yeah.
The city don't like them. You may remember when I did Food Truck Central, I had those signs up and down 12th Street.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
Man, that was my best advertisement ever, was right there along 12th Street. And they stayed pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at people that read that when they drive by. They pull up to a stop sign or.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was money well spent.
Yes.
There's absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely worked for me.
Yeah. Now you started with the deli right off the get go, because it was several years before I came by and started coming down. I can't even remember the year I started coming in there, and then it was years too. I'd been coming in before we got to really talking much.
Right.
How many square feet is your place?
1,300.
1,300.
Yes.
Okay.
And that includes the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Your walk-ins and your smoker outside with your little cooking area right there around the smoker is probably as big as all your cooking area inside, if not bigger.
Yeah, I think it's bigger outside than inside.
I'm just counting the walk-in, the freezer and fridge.
Yeah.
With the area right in front by the smoker. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how much food you're putting out and what square foot you got.
Yes.
It's incredible. Now, when did you introduce pizza?
After about a year, I was there. We started real soft with the deli.
Mm-hmm.
And then about a year later, we got into pizza.
Okay, that quick.
But I bought that store with the idea of doing that.
Right.
I just had to wait.
Did you ever come from a store that did pizza?
No, we've done delis.
Okay.
Before, a lot of deli, but never did pizza.
And the delis were just, kind of just strictly sandwiches. You weren't producing any kind of the deli products. You were buying kind of finished deli products.
Correct. And just assembling.
And now you're actually making some of your deli products.
Yes. Yeah. We make a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And why don't you tell our audience here what you are making? And you're using the smoker for some of it. Like the other day, we were talking about the turkey.
We smoke turkey. We sell a lot of smoked turkey.
And you're doing the pastrami.
Pastrami. Yep. Burn it. We use a lot on the smoker. We cook turkey probably daily.
Your specials, you have a special every day of some sorts. And today is Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Today is BLT day.
BLT day, yes.
How much bacon are you cooking for today?
We started cooking bacon on Monday, and we cooked probably 300 pounds.
So 300 pounds of bacon, and you cooked it on the smoker.
We cooked it on the smoker. We sure did.
And now you've got double smoked bacon.
Correct.
Which makes it super unique. Wow, that's a lot of sandwiches.
Yes.
And it's a good draw, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Some places do BLTs, but not nowhere like what you're doing. We'll get a picture of the BLT, which will get added into the story here so people will see what we're talking about.
Okay.
I really got going on your spaghetti and meatballs and stuff. I mean, that's what I enjoyed, the bucket of spaghetti.
Yes.
Because, that's a hell of a feed.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
It's an unbelievable good deal and value. You can feed 4, 5, 6 people. It's freaking great is what it is. I enjoyed the heck out of it. That's what got me really going and seeing things down. And I love your meatball sandwich on Fridays.
Yeah, that's one of our most popular sandwiches too.
Yes. The chicken parm that you've got is insane. All these, we're going to put photos up of all this stuff, but that big giant chicken parm is incredible. So and your liquor prices are good.
Yes. Yeah. I'm competitive.
Very competitive.
Yes.
Yeah. With anybody out there in the marketplace. How many people you got working for you now? You got to count family members and all.
Wow. I'm thinking maybe 20.
Wow. A 1,300 square foot store, people. Okay. Your produce does unbelievably well.
Yes. Yeah, we sell a lot of produce.
and you deal with the Amish a lot.
Yes.
And I mean, the produce is incredible.
Yes.
What you've got there. Yeah, I know you talk to a lot of your customers, and you're getting to know a lot of your customers because of the regulars you have coming in. How far away have you got people that come see you weekly?
We get a lot of people drive from Olathe, Leavenworth, Kearney.
Wow.
Weekly, they'll drive up to see us.
And that's 30, 40-minute drive.
Yes.
That's a hell of a draw on a customer base.
Yeah.
Wow. So, gosh, how long you had your smoker now?
I think I've had almost
Is it
3 years, 2 or 3 years now.
I think it's at least 3.
Is it 3? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Time goes fast. I mean,
Yeah. I want to tell a little story on you. Okay.
go right ahead.
So Santo had been talking to me about smokers, and Thanksgiving's coming up. I do a lot of turkeys for charities. So he's wanted to do some turkeys. And I said, well, I got a 500 pounder that'll do 40 birds at a time. And I said, why don't you give this a whirl? So I bring the smoker down to him, and he's doing it for Thanksgiving Day, because all my stuff's done prior to the Thanksgiving Day, but he's timing for Thanksgiving Day is what he's doing. So I said, now when you put these birds on here, you got to put the necks forward and back, so every other bird, but also you can do 14 pound and down, but make darn sure you leave the legs tied down on the top ones. Otherwise, because when it cooks, the bird will start opening up and the legs will flip up on it, and that'll catch the rotisserie rack and crash it. And so, yeah, okay. Yeah, I got it. And it's like 9:30 Thanksgiving morning. My phone's ringing, and it's Santo. What happened, Santo?
Yeah, we crashed it all.
He found out what that meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everything come out good. I mean, you were close to being finished anyway. So we were able to get them finished up and get things reset and all. But instructions are important.
Yes, they are. I think I kind of panicked when I seen that.
I would. I got news for you.
Yeah.
But so then I thought, gosh, that kind of ruined him on wanting a smoker.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking, And then he said, no, I really want you to want to get a smoker, and can you work with me and find me something, So sure enough, I found a unit in southern Oklahoma and went down and picked it up. And it was, I'm thinking it was a 2012. And then I took it by Cook Shack, and we redid a lot of things on it, put the latest electronics on it. And also you had an updated version of the FEC 500. And that's what you're running today.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So what's some of you're doing pork butts? The burn ends is very, very, it's a great thing you're doing. And Meese Wholesale, who's one of your wholesalers you deal with, I got them back in the day to start selling separated points. And I said to them, this is going back into the late 90s, early 2000s is when they were customers of mine, or the Meese family. And I said, dude, can you buy these points separated from the flats? Because the companies that do corned beef do those, And he said, well, yeah, but he goes, I can get them. And so I said, you need to start paying attention to this, because this is going to be a big deal. I said, these separated points and people just cooking burn ends is going to overcome selling flat. You don't even buy any flats, do you, anymore? Except maybe to make your pastrami out of?
Pastrami. Yeah, we make pastrami out of them. That's it.
But for your barbecue, you're just cooking the points.
Points, yes.
Because that's where all the flavor is.
Yeah.
And all the fat and things. There's also different brands. They do a better job of trimming. Are you able to get the good ones all the time, or have you dealt with getting the ones that are from different companies?
No, I like to stick to the Colorado points.
You're able to,
yes.
He's been able to keep you fed on the Colorado points?
Yes.
Okay. When they were going back and forth between different companies, is like, oh man, but those Colorado premiums are just, you can season them and go right on.
Oh, they're the best.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're the cat's meow of brisket points. There he is. Yes, definitely. So another thing too, did you ever work at any of the corporate grocery stores, or is always family stuff you worked around? Or
no, it was always just, independent family owned stores.
Independent family owned.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've tried to deal with, I think we had this discussion the other day that when you get into the big supermarkets, the delis are their own entity. The meat department's another entity. They don't mix where you do everything.
Yes.
They all only deal with their only department. And it's very difficult to get them to understand you should really be in this meat department doing what you're doing, the processing and making a product compared to the people that are just selling the meals.
Right.
But they don't look at the two together in some of the big corporate stuff that we've had to go and we talked to.
Right.
So early on, you've got going and you've been in there in this little store that was closed for a while and you've spent all this time and labor and money and got it back open. Did it ever cross your mind, I may have made a mistake?
Yeah, I think it did. It was a slow start to that store. Very slow. I think because it was closed for 5 years. The store really wasn't much even when it was open.
Right. Was it much for food in it at all?
No.
It was just strictly dry goods kind of thing. So you putting food in there and then trying to develop that. Besides your yard signs, what was some of your other advertising means that you did?
I started with Facebook myself. I bought a sign, a commander board outside that flashed lights and open for the word of mouth.
Yeah.
I had that. I priced fairly.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I love the name Price Right Market because you are. I mean, you are the best value and especially the better food too.
I started giving things away to get people in. Give me a try.
The produce stand out front.
Produce. Yep.
Yes. And getting known for good produce.
Yeah.
Is a big deal. What was your biggest hurdle to overcome, you think?
The biggest hurdle, I think, was the closings of the road.
Oh, yeah.
I've had several, two or three.
Yes. What does the city say to you? It's been horrible when they close it, one the end or the other off on you, because you're this main drag that runs north and south from Riverside kind of to the mid-Northland. It was a railroad passage back prior to the development of the Northland.
Yeah, that was the Interurban Railroad.
Interurban Railroad. Yeah.
That was a stop. That little town where I'm at is a stop on the Interurban Railroad.
Was it a town name right there?
Yeah, Northern Heights was the town name.
Northern Heights.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
All I remembered, it was the road that went through the creek.
Yeah, no, it was stop on the Interurban.
Okay. Yeah, I remembered the store so much because of how the road went. Is that
64th.
It's 64th Street right there. Okay. Because it drove right through Line Creek.
Yes.
Is what it did. And then what we used to do in my hot rodding days, you stop in the creek. Okay. And then the big deal was, okay, you light them up and you can't lift until you get clear to the top of the hill. Okay. If you lift it, you're you know how many times cars are off in the ditches?
Oh, I bet.
Up there.
Yeah.
Because, once you got those things smoking, coming off out of the water, and then it's still smoking, going up the hill and how that makes that hard 90 up there and you're still climbing hard coming out of there, it's real hard to keep a car straight.
Right. You had to be going side to side.
Oh, yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it was such a challenge to do it. That was my high school days.
Yeah.
That was well known right there, and I'm sure the neighbors around there just hated us.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, God. So the city's closed on you 3 times in the last, 6 years or so?
Let's see, probably 4.
4 years.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah.
Any more closures looking to come up?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I got one coming in 28.
In 28?
Yes.
Are they going to close it from the north side then, right, to finish off? Or how did they say how they're going to close it?
Yeah, they're going to continue the road there where they left off.
Uh-huh.
And go north to 68th Street.
What does the plans show it's going to do to your parking and your lot? And what's the plans to try to keep you open?
Well, I've talked to them about that, and they're trying to tell me they're going to always keep a lane open during construction, but they told me that last time too.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, but I'm talking to a different guy this time, so I'm hoping that,
They're not going to 4-lane it. It's still going to stay 2-lane.
it will still stay 2 lanes. Yes.
So that shouldn't eat up a lot of your parking lot.
It's going to eat up quite a bit of my parking. The easement is a lot bigger on that part of the road because of the interurban railroad back in the day.
Really?
It's normally 40 feet is an easement. It's 60 feet right there because of the interurban railroad.
So it goes like to your front door?
Almost. Yep. Up to my parking blocks. But they're going to leave my parking is just going to be a little tight, but it will still be in front.
Really?
Yes.
So cars turning in and out of there could be really difficult, huh?
Yes. They're going to have a turn in front and then go out to 64th.
So it'll be curbed along the road.
Yes.
Okay. So they can't accidentally back out into the road.
No.
Ooh, that could get interesting.
Yeah. It's going to be a little tight for me, but.
What about any of the property other side of 64th on the south side of you there? And, that isn't there like a lot or two next to that house?
Yeah, they're taking that.
The city's taking that.
City's taking that, yes.
Any availability they could help you out and make a parking lot for you?
Well, they say I'm going to be able to park on the road right there. There'll be no parking signs there, so customers will be able to pull up on 64th and park.
Okay. They're going to widen that then too?
Yes, it's going to be a little wider, yes. And they're going to make trail parking down at the end.
Okay. Yeah, it needs that. There's plenty of room down there.
Yeah.
For sure. So if they put parking on 64th there and widen that could help out a bunch.
Yes.
Yeah. What about your little triangular area across the street you got there that you're parking some on?
They're going to take a lot of that.
They're going to take that.
Yeah, a lot of that. Because they're going to it's going to kind of zigzag right in front of me because they're going to try to move the road a little more to the east to give me
room
to park.
Okay.
So right there is going to kind of S.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh my God. My thing is they spent over 2 years on Green Hills.
Yeah.
Up there north of 9th Street. They spent 2 years on that redevelopment there. I mean, they can't do 2 years to you.
No. They're saying this will take a year.
Oh, yeah. I think that's bullshit. I haven't seen them do anything in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Respond right here if you're from Kansas City and let us know what you think will happen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them dingalings do anything in a timely manner. Everything around me, when they did 72nd Street up there from 29.
Oh, that was a disaster.
That was over 2 years.
Yeah.
I think that was 2.5 years. I believe it was 2 years up there by Green Hills coming down from Berry Road too.
Yeah.
That was a 2-year deal. How long was that last deal go around down there by the ice rink?
22 months.
Okay, we're getting to my 2-year mark, aren't we? Yeah.
Yep.
There we are. 2 years. People, whatever you can do, come by and support Price Right Market. Don't bear away. Whatever direction you can get in there, you need to go. That's for sure. Because first of all, you're missing some of the best food in the Northland, especially for sure. Tell us what the health department had going on with you. What did they say about you putting that smoker there?
Well, I started using it without getting it inspected from the start. So I was using it about 6 months, and a health inspector walks in, inspects everything, then he walks outside and he says, "Is that your smoker out there?" I said, yeah, that's ours. We've been using it for about 6 months now. He goes out there and he says, "Well, it's not covered right. You don't have the proper sink out here and blah, blah, blah." And he says, "I got to shut you down. You can't be using this smoker." So this was on a Friday. So I wasn't going to be able to do my ribs on Saturday, my burn-ins on Sunday. So I says, "Okay, what do I need to do?" Blah, blah, blah. And he tells me, I said, "Well, you'll be here Monday, won't you? So I can get back cooking here." And, "Oh yeah, I'll be there Monday." So I go, I buy a sink. It has a hot water tank, 3-hole sink. You can wash dishes, wash your hands. It has a 3-hole sink and a hand washing sink with an electric hot water tank. It's a very nice.
Yeah, I've seen those units.
Very nice unit. So he comes back out. My wife calls him. He comes out Monday afternoon. And I had over that weekend, we built a nice awning. You've seen my awning. I spent $5,000 building an awning. I bought this sink, and he comes out and he goes, "Oh, well, your sink ain't right and this ain't right and blah, blah, blah." I said, "Oh, wait a minute, pal." I said, "This is right. believe me, this is right, and blah, blah. He says, well, I can't have it. You can't open up. I'm going to have to come back and reinspect, maybe next Friday. So he leaves. My wife calls down there and asks for the head of the health department. We get him on the phone and we start talking to him. And I said, you've got to come out here today and look at this. This is, it's not right. I'm 100% legal. I've got everything really nice and blah, blah, blah. He says, I'll be out in the morning. So next morning, here comes the head of the health department.
That's amazing you got that to happen.
Yes.
I mean, wow.
Here he comes. He walks over to the area and he goes, this is really nice. He goes, you got a nice smoker too. I said, yeah. And he goes, your sink's perfect. This is that. And he goes, no, you're good, sir. I said, yeah, I know I'm good. And he writes me up and he goes, if you have any problems with any inspectors, he goes, you tell them to call me. He goes, you're good to go, sir. He goes, you got a very nice operation here.
Sweet.
And the other guy, I couldn't believe
it's amazing.
I had a new inspector.
Oh.
He was a new inspector.
Okay.
And he was scared of his own shadow.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
That was,
no, I've seen it. It's
I think he was coming out.
Well, he was expecting to see junk.
Junk, exactly.
Is what he was not expecting to see somebody that was well above, and had something that was totally, fully tested,
Yes.
had all the ratings on their equipment and things.
Yes, he wasn't expecting to see what we had there.
No, and all your procedures that you've got in place.
Yes.
And also, wow. Just goes to show, got it. Sometimes tenacity makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Well, thank God you guys kept after it.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your customers telling you about your food, especially your barbecue now that you got into doing that? What are your comments you're getting?
We're getting a lot of good comments. People are surprised that a little store like that has barbecue. They'll walk in and say, boy, I really didn't expect to see that here. And boy, it was really good last time I got it. Kind of surprised me. I said, well, I don't know why it surprised you. All our stuff's good.
When I was in there the other day, you showing me your turkey you're doing. And I'm surprised how many barbecue places aren't doing turkey. I mean, it's a great product. And especially doing your own meats, doing your own pastrami and stuff like that. Now you're getting some really well, fresh cooked stuff. So if you guys are around, get down there and try his turkey. Fantastic. Your deliveries. Let's talk about getting trucks in.
It's an issue. And I told them that, we get 2 or 3 53-foot trailers in weekly. And I told them, where are they going to park? They're not going to fit in my parking lot.
Right.
So they're going to have to park on the street. They're going to have to park them on 64th.
Are the plans finished that what they're going to do? Do you know? Or are they still floating?
No, they're not 100% solid yet.
Do you get early access to them, I guess, knowing
Yes.
what the plans are?
Yes. I've agreed to my corner right there, what they've done. We've had a couple revisions, and they've worked with me pretty good.
Have they?
Yeah.
Well, I just don't want to see them, kick you to the curb.
It's just going to be a little tighter than I wanted it.
Well, from back in the day, did you ever dream it'd become the monster it is today?
Well, I knew it could do business there, but no, we've far exceeded my expectations.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Your business model is amazing because you've taken the old school, grocer attitude and brought that deli into it. And now you've upgraded the deli with the barbecue stuff and all. I mean, you're just constantly looking what's the next thing. I can't believe you're not known more for your pizza's fantastic. You guys need to get by and get some pizza. It's top notch. And of course, I've got a pizza company too, but his pizza is fantastic. Come on up, try the little store's pizza. Well, let's get in talking to you about your barbecue.
Okay.
Let's not just call it barbecue. Let's call it smoked foods. Tell me about the FEC 500. Kind of give us an idea what your capacities are, what you've done with it, what you're cooking with it. And you got the representative right in your neighborhood.
Right.
And if something goes wrong, that guy's going to bend his ear. He's going to come fix it. Damn right I am. Of course, unless I'm in Arizona. Tell us about, the what you got there.
Well, when I started looking into it and asking you about smokers, I came up to your garage a couple times and we looked at smokers, smaller ones that you had repossessed or whatever in your garage. And I just knew that those weren't going to work because they were too small. Because, I had in my mind that we need to sell barbecue.
Your vision was a lot bigger than mine, because
Yes.
I'm looking at this little store and he's just going to do a little bit of this, and everybody's budget minded too,
Yes.
and I'm big equipment comes with big numbers.
Right.
So when you finally said, I need something bigger,
Yes.
bigger. And it took a little bit to come across the right deal,
Yes, it did.
because I knew where your budget was and I wanted to get the best I could. And also too, knowing guess who's going to be working on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you called me with that FC 500, I knew it was the right deal.
Right. You'd been looking. Yeah.
And that's why I said, bring it on. I'll take it.
Right. You've done exactly what we talk and dream about and hope people see. Your son did a wonderful job the other day. I had a fellow from Gardner, Kansas come up and they're wanting to do a deli. George spent like an hour with them.
Hmm.
And George said they spent $100 on food too.
Oh, no kidding.
They were eating everything on your menu basically. But that's exactly what they got to see, a great operation, and they could see what to do. We can talk about things in the grocer world and all, but if you can't see an operation that is doing it, it's real hard to grasp. And the bigger they are, the tougher they are too. They just still don't see it. And there's so many different layers, this buyer, this chef, this, that. You could work on something and take 2 or 3 years before a deal comes together. Can you think of it today, taking that smoker away from you and going back to the way it used to be?
Oh, no. It's kind of changed our life there at the store.
It's coming to a life of its own, hasn't it?
Yeah, it sure has.
And now you got a whole new following, don't you?
A whole new following. This took some relief off our kitchen.
Right.
From pizza ovens.
Yeah, you were having to do all kinds of other things, and now you're doing way more than you ever thought you would with it, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Way more.
Let's talk about your fuel. What are you burning?
We're burning pellets.
What brand of pellets?
Fast Eddies.
The grilling pellets.
Yes, the grilling pellets. Yes, sir.
What a flavor those things got.
Oh, yeah. They're great.
Yeah. Kind of give us an idea of your week with the smoker. I know you're doing a lot of bacon with it. Of course, bacon's, but it takes up a lot of room. So you can actually, you're double smoking bacon's what you're doing.
Yes, correct.
So what, 300, how many pounds you say you were doing?
Well, we start on Monday cooking bacon and we load it up. We cook a total of about 300 pounds.
300 pounds.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And we use all the racks and we'll cook all day Monday and then we'll load it up at night.
Oh, you're running overnight too.
For pastrami.
Okay.
We have a special pastrami on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
So then we load it up with pastrami and then cook our pastrami overnight.
And then back on bacon the next day.
And then back on bacon Tuesday morning, yes.
Yeah. And then you start serving the bacon on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a whole cycle of things going on. Geez, how many turkeys you doing on like Thanksgiving?
This year we did over 100 of them.
Really?
Yes, we did. We did 40 of them that were fresh, hot off the smoker because it will hold 40 birds. Mm-hmm. And the rest of them we pre-cooked and sold them cold where they take them home and reheat them.
Wow. That's pretty good. How was your response on it?
Very good. Yeah. It worked out real well.
So that's going to happen again, probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll do it again next year.
Tell us about your chicken specials that you do, your rib specials, and then your burn-in specials. And then give us the pricing of what you're selling the stuff for.
Okay. I'll start with wings. We cook wings. We throw wings in probably 3 or 4 times a week in between everything else that we cook.
Oh, yeah.
And we do a wing special, 20 pieces for $15.99. Every day you can walk in and get that.
Are they cold or hot, or do you dip and fry them, or what are you doing when you serve them?
They're cold.
Okay.
You buy them cold and go home and reheat them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Thursday is half chicken day. We do 2 half chickens for $5.99.
So basically a whole bird, but they're
basically a whole bird.
So you order them in as halves.
I order them in as halves. Yes.
Right. So then there's no touching, just basically out of the box. And what do you season them with?
Fast Eddies.
Good stuff. Yeah.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And we started out with those doing just half chickens. And, we just weren't selling many. I guess because maybe Walmart has cheap chickens and that's probably about it. Walmart. Nobody else really has cheap chicken anymore.
Right.
And I decided to do the 2 for $5.99.
Yeah.
Because I'm still making a little money and it went crazy. So
really?
Tons of them. Now everybody's in there and they come in, they'll grab a slice of pizza while they're waiting.
So it gets them in the door.
It gets them in the door and they grab other stuff and you get a lot of new customers in that wouldn't have came in.
Right.
And you get exposure to them.
Right. And now they get to see everything. Great liquor prices.
Great
beer prices.
Yes.
Great produce.
Yep.
And then all your other deli stuff you have too.
Right.
And your prepared meals.
Yeah. And prepared meals.
You're doing that all day long.
All day long. Yes.
And then you guys do take and bake pizza.
Yes.
How many take and bake pizzas do you think you make in a week?
Probably a couple hundred.
Okay. Wow.
A couple hundred a week in take and bakes.
Yeah. So you are the Papa Murphy's of Price Right Market.
Yes, we are.
Much better than a Papa Murphy's.
In our special, every Monday we have a special on take and bakes for $10.99. And, we'll sell 60 of them.
Wow. Have you broke it down to what your average customer spends by coming in that door? I know when I got to talking to people about the pellet grills and things, I'm going to tell the story on my buddy Mike West out in Barbecue Island. And he was looking at getting into this early, like 2010 or so, 2011. I said, Mike, you got to look at the pellet grill differently because back then pellets weren't everywhere. And I says, they're going to come back in the store for the pellets. And so he did a deal where he gave away a bag of pellets a month if you came in and bought a pellet grill. And the average expenditure of that person coming back in the store was $49 to come in and get that free bag of pellets was what they were spending in the store to pick their pellets up to get their free bag of pellets.
Yeah.
So you're kind of doing the same thing. It's a little bit of a false leader by doing some of those things like that and using that in your retail grocer, your deli. It's changing the upsell on everything else, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, on Fridays, you do the chicken.
Fridays, we normally will cook wings and turkey.
Wings and turkey on Friday.
Yes.
Saturday,
ribs.
Ribs. What rib are you doing?
We do baby back ribs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many are you doing?
90 ribs.
Doing 90 racks of ribs.
Yep, 90 racks of ribs.
Okay. And then here comes Sunday.
Yep. And then after the ribs are done, we load it up with burn ends, cook them overnight.
So your brisket points run overnight. You do that big long run, get them like marshmallows.
Yep. They fall apart, taking them off.
Do you have much of it left over?
No. Once in a while we'll have some left over. They sell cold the next day.
Oh, yeah.
People are always looking, come in. Do you have any burn ends left? Do you have any ribs left from yesterday or the day before?
Yeah.
And, sometimes I even cook a little extra burn ends and we'll have a burn end sandwich special. I do that once in a while just to do it.
Wow. What do you sell that for?
$17.99. Comes with chips and a drink, and it's probably two people can probably eat off of it.
Wow.
I load it up.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it. Make sure we put a picture in here and you all look at to see what that burn-in sandwich looks like. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Jason runs down there and gets that, don't you, Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. You all need to see it.
I love the burn ends. and then I end up putting them in my air fryer for another 30 or 45 minutes. It just melt that fat down. I like them a little bit more burnt, and man, they just melt in your mouth.
That's like when you get them cold, reheat them.
I buy them cold. I always come in cold, and then I reheat them for good 30 or 45 minutes, on 450, and just cook them down.
You like them crispy.
Yeah.
I like them crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're so delicious anyway. They're such a good cut, and they're still super juicy and amazing. So best burn-ins I've ever had, literally.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and everybody's trying to figure out how they can keep making money out of brisket. Santo Smiroldo knows how to make money on brisket. I'm here to tell you. All you people that ain't making money on brisket out there, you need to listen to this guy. He knows how to do it. So, well, we're kind of going to close this thing out.
It's a great place to eat.
Yeah.
That's a great place to eat. You got to go there.
It's the jewel of the Northland. I will say that. I'm so happy to have you just a mile. You see me 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
Easily. And I imagine you see a lot of people like that too, though. Oh, the biscuits and gravy. Those are killer.
Yep.
In the morning.
So when I first went there, I tried to get gas, and I talked to the city.
Boy.
And it was a no-go. It had no part. So that's when I decided we're going to have to do food.
Well, you've knocked it out of the park. You folks don't know what you're missing if you don't get your butt over to the little store and get down there and try it. I like the coziness of people, when we're all standing there waiting for our meals. It's not quite I have to stand outside in the cold yet waiting.
Yeah.
but it's amazing how quick you guys can still get it out, you know?
Yeah, it gets a little crowded in there at times.
Yeah. And I like being able to call ahead,
Yeah.
you know, which is really nice. You do great with the phone work and doing pre-ordering and stuff. Santo, I really appreciate you coming in and listening to your story and really showing these people that, you know, you can take your grocers to another level with a smoker, especially.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they can really make a huge difference with you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. You've been listening to Pellet Cookery University. Thanks for joining me here at Pellet Cookery University. I'm Fast Eddy. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment. It helps us feed the fire, grow the channel, and keep the smoke rolling. And if you're serious about cooking, check out cookshack.com, the leader in high-quality commercial pellet cookers and grills. See you next time.